Anyway, T.I. and Tiny. Now, I know y'all be thinking I'm hating and stuff like that, but listen, I done dealt with Georgia and Florida judges before. Now, mind you, I've had good cases with Georgia. Not Georgia. Hell no. Speaking of Georgia, you know what was so sad about Georgia is that I paid my taxes there. I lived there 20 years. I brought jobs and stuff to the area, and they favor California. Okay, let's keep it at hand. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all told me to shut up and stop talking about myself. I'm gonna stop doing that. But I just done been through so much. Okay, hold on real quick. All right, so T.I. and Tiny got some bad news. Do you remember I told y'all concerning that OMG kind of girl group that they created with the girls, you know, their daughter and, you know, I believe cousin and a friend or something like that. And here's the girls. And so a company came behind them and created the dolls, like the a splitting image of what these girls look like, okay? And I believe they called them, did they call them OMG dolls as well too? Did they name this the same name or the brat? Huh? LOL dolls, okay? This was, I think they came out with their own sub doll, and I believe their argument was that this was along the line of a Bratz doll, because what happens is say for instance you start a burger company, okay? And then you got McDonald's, you got Burger King, you got Wendy's, all right? You can't, McDonald's can't sue Wendy's for starting a burger, you know what I'm saying? Or having a bun or having lettuce, you know, as long as you have a different name and it was just your intention to just get in and share some of the market space that they're owning, you know, there's no problem with that. And so this case, in the court's opinion, was similar to that, okay? T.I. and Tiny definitely felt like the company infringed on their intellectual property, which is the image and branding and intellectual property of the OMG girl group that they owned and started, okay? And so these dolls came right out. They made billions of dollars off of these dolls. T.I. and Tiny, I believe, have been trying to go after the company for quite some time. They've been in court for many, many years. They were awarded a hefty judgment of $71 million. And as soon as they got that money, and I know y'all was, oh my God, when I said they wasn't gonna get this money, y'all thought I was hating. Y'all thought I was working for the white man. No, I just know how the white courts work. I just know how the white courts work, okay? And so after, not only did the judge decrease the amount that they were awarded, I believe they were awarded $71 million, if I'm not mistaken. He decreased it to around $50 million, and then took another look at it because, you know, the company that they're suing asked the judge to do it, and he wiped away the entire award. He said the reason he wiped it away, the reason he basically reversed the entire judgment that they got, was because he felt like, according to the evidence presented, that the LOL dolls didn't intentionally infringe on their brand, which means they didn't look at it and say, you know what, I'm gonna create them and take money from them and create a doll, because they're not doing it. They just happen to have the same idea. You know how a broken clock can be right twice a day? You know how some people come up with a shoe idea or another shoe idea? Is it infringing on another person's shoe? Now, we all know that this is systematic. We could call this, and we're gonna say alleged, systematic racism, especially in the courts, because they've spent a lot of money fighting this case, okay? The only people that are winning are the courts and the lawyers. And so he has reversed the entire judgment of $71 million, something that they have been fighting for years, said that even though the jury found that it was maliciously taken and intentionally infringed on their intellectual property, the judge took another look at it and said, I don't think it did. I don't think it did. It's like, why did we have a jury trial if you were just gonna come in and make your own ruling? These black people done lost everything because of their habits, okay? Immoral habits, all right? Does it make it wrong? No. But is it immoral along the lines of Shannon Sharpe? Absolutely. Okay. So having orgies and things like that and being accused of doing all these things and having ecstasy and popping pills, that's not a good brand to have when you're public figures and you have a family show on television. And then on top, you know, the TV and the brands have to be worried about it too. Like, you put a felon on TV who has multiple gun charges, okay? And then he's sharing his wife all around Atlanta. They're sharing each other, okay? And it's just messy. And so when everything hit the fan, you couldn't be surprised at why everything hit the fan. And so they lost their reality shows. They lost, I think he lost like, I don't know what franchise movie, was it Ant-Man? What was the movie he had? It was a big movie deal because, you know, he's been doing a lot of movies, building his movie brand. He lost that. He had to go on the road and do comedy and wasn't funny. I seen him in person. It was bad. It was terrible, you know. So then he started saying, you know, T.I. presents, and started bringing other famous comedians so that he can make money off of managing and putting together tours for them because he was selling his name. I mean, smart, but at the same time, but this was supposed to be his big payday. And when they won that $71 million, they were supposed to retire. But the judge said, not so fast, not until I retire. And so, the judge has now ordered a new trial. They got to pay for it. It costs money to try trials. And it's like, what are you going to get? And I told y'all weeks ago when y'all was talking shit, talking about, Tasha, you just be hating. You just want to see them fall. I'm like, no, I know the system. And I don't understand why people continuously use a system that's going to reverse the system against them. And this is exactly what happened. They spent millions of dollars fighting this case. They spent $1 million fighting Sabrina Peterson, telling all them lies about them, you know, taking vaginas and stuff all over Atlanta and making Tiny eat vaginas in order to get a ring. But Tiny ate vaginas before she got a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just happened. They just happened to like to eat the same thing, you know? And so this is going to be very expensive. And I'm wondering, like, y'all may say, is it worth it? But, like, you got to think about it. We're in a very, very tough economy right now. Everybody's struggling. And do you have money to throw at this for them to reverse it upon appeal? Because even if it would have gotten, like, let's just say the judge would have said, okay, I'm going to reduce it down and keep it at the 51 million instead of giving you 71 million. They would have in turn took it to the appellate court. The appellate court would have looked at it and been like, you know what? I don't think they made this much. I don't think they would have made this much. Let's give them a cool 15. Then they give them a cool 15 million, and then they're going to do that in payments. And then when the company files for bankruptcy, they're going to get less than that. And so it's like, what are you trying to prove? Yeah, you may be trying to create case law, but everybody know T.I. and Tiny need that damn money. Let's just stop cap. I would need it too. That's why he said I'm retiring. I ain't rapping no more. Only for next month his ass was back on that stage rapping. Gotta do what you gotta do. Pray for them, y'all. They gonna need it.